Now, the next stage of this logo is to take these sort of blue arrow shapes that we can see here coming in from all sides, and you see they're still made up of the original rectangles. What we want to do is combine just this area that we can physically see into a new object, and then we can fill with red and green as we work our way around the outside. So, as you can see, that can be quite intricate because we've got long rectangles. We can join these two together, but we also need to cut out where the black goes and leave just this blue area that you can see here, okay? Well, we're going to use a powerful new tool which will allow us to do that simply by clicking and combining any of the joining overlapping shapes that we have to make brand new ones as if we'd drawn them by hand. The tool is called the Shape Builder tool. It's brand spanking new in CS5. So what we'll do first is select all of our graphics because we need to have them highlighted to tell the Shape Builder which shapes we're going to start combining with. And come over into the Tools panel, and in the middle, over here, you'll see the Shape Builder tool, okay? One item only, very simple to use. All we need to do is if you hover over an area, you'll see it becomes somewhat selected and has a small plus sign with it that tells us that we're going to add this shape to something else, all right? Well, this is the cool part. If you click on one shape and drag into the next one, you'll see that it's showing up red. If we let go, it has now drawn those two into one single object, all right? Whilst that's still selected, we could just then click from this one and go into this one. We've now created a new shape, completely independent of everything else. Illustrator has constructed a brand new graphic that is this shape only, okay? Now, it's filling it black by default, but we can change that very easily later on. Now, here's the other cool thing. If we don't have to go down and do it these two and then these two, if we can see across all three shapes, why not click and drag across all three shapes and build it immediately? This tool is such fun. It's incredible. So I'm going to work my way around this shape and do exactly the same function so we can combine only the areas that we see into brand new shapes. Remember, everything else that's underneath, that's staying exactly where it is. We're building new objects here. This is very cool indeed. So we now know that these shapes are new, and we can see as we continue to roll over them that they are so, but it'd be better if we could have them as a slightly different color. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply our actual red and green coloring to this. Let's go back to the main selection tool and just deselect for a second. Then let's get our eyedropper tool. Remember, I is your keyboard shortcut, and we'll choose flag red to start with, okay? So remember to hold down the Option key, that's Alt on Windows, and once you've got the eyedropper color selected, the Option key is going to apply it to the object that we roll over and click on, okay? So let's do it here with one of our arrow shapes, and you see that's now perfectly filling in. Let's skip the next one and do the one after that because we're basically going to alternate between red and green. So every other one here, there'll be 4 in total. Perfect. Then let's go over to flag green. Once again, hold down your Option key and apply it to the other intermediate shapes. Okay, so another 4 there, and that gives us most of our artwork. Now, remember that we've done a lot of slicing here. If we go into outline mode, you can see that in the background here, the original rectangles that were overlapping, the pieces that we didn't join together with the shape builder are still here. Okay, so we need to tidy this artwork up so we're not copying and dragging around excess paths, all right? So what we'll do, let's go ahead and select our red shape here and our green. In fact, work our way all the way around the outside. Because ultimately, we're not going to keep the black in here. We're going to remove that so we can see through to our carbon fiber pattern when we drop it on our print document. Remember that. This is essentially going to be transparent. What we can do is also hold down the Shift key and select our white central object. So all we're doing here now is selecting the elements that we wish to keep. Everything else we want to get rid of, all right? So now go up to the Select menu and go down to Inverse, and that'll select everything underneath and our original black object. What you can do now is simply delete them, and we're left now with the final graphics of our logo.